Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL STAR. Today I'm gonna discuss about FPL Wildcard team for Game Week 13. I know a lot of managers already activated your wildcard previously, so you don't have your wildcard, but now a few managers have wildcard, and if you have wildcard, then I think Game Week 13 is the last best opportunity to use your wildcard. Before revealing the wildcard team, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel. Now let's start. For Game Week 13 wildcard team, I think the best goalkeeper is Ramsdale because he is cheaper than Newcastle goalkeeper Pope and also better than 4.5 million goalkeeper like Raya, Sanchez or Guita because Raya Brentford defense doesn't look good, as well as Guita has Crystal Palace and Crystal Palace defense doesn't look good, but Arsenal are very good side in defensively and offensively, so I think Arsenal goalkeeper Ramsdale is the better option to go for your wildcard team. Now move on to the defense, and first defender for Game Week 13 wildcard is Cancelo. He will now back in Game Week 13. He has blank in Game Week 12, but I think he's a very good option to go with because he will play Brighton, Leicester, Fulham, Brentford. Those are very attacking team, but Manchester City defense are so good, they can maintain clean sheet with any team. So I think that's why Cancelo is a very good option for your team if you activated your wildcard. Now move on to the second defender for wildcard team, and it's Anderson from Crystal Palace. I think he's a good one to go for because he's 4.5 million and you can rotate with other defender in your team with him, and he's a very good player. He can pass very good long ball, and that's a very good one because he can give you bonus point when Crystal Palace maintain clean sheet. He is also very tall, so he can give you some attacking return from set piece or corner. That's why I think he's a very good differential one because his ownership is just 3.2%. Now move on to the third defender in team, and it's Newcastle defender Trippier, and I think you should go for Trippier ahead of Newcastle goalkeeper Pope because Trippier will give you assist as well as clean sheet, but Pope will give you just clean sheet. He can also give some save point, but I think Trippier is much more attacking, and he will give more point than Pope. Trippier takes all the free kick for Newcastle, also the corner, so he's a very good option, and I think if you activated your wildcard in Game Week 13, then you should go for Trippier. The first midfielder for this Game Week 13 wildcard team is Foden, and he's in great form. Recently he played every match in English Premier League and he is scoring assists, and that's why I think you should go for Foden. And he's a Manchester City attacker, and Manchester City is scoring a lot of goals, so you should obviously go for Foden. Now move on to the second midfielder, and it's Mohamed Salah, and he is back in form against Manchester City. He's playing very well. He's in the striking position, so you should obviously go with him. And he also scored a hat-trick in his championship match against Rangers, so I think he's a very nice option to go for in Game Week 13, and he's a good captaincy shout also for Game Week 13, so you should obviously go for him. He has very nice round fixture. Nottingham Forest, Leeds are very good team, so again even Southampton is very good, but only Tottenham is hard fixer. Now move on to the third midfielder option, and it's Martinelli. I already tell that Arsenal's fixture looks good, and that's why you should go for Martinelli because he's cheaper, and I think he's the best value in 6.7 million range. And if you look at his fixture, Southampton, Nottingham Forest and Wolves in next 4 out of 3, so that's why I think he can give you some attacking return. He's sometimes played as a second striker also in the left wing, so I think he's a very good option to go for in your wildcard team. Now move on to the fourth midfielder in wildcard team, and it's Andreas from Fulham, and I think it's a good way to fill your team in Game Week 13 wildcard because he's 4.6 and play Leeds, and it's an away match, but I think Andreas can give some point because he is attacking. He's the number 10 of Fulham, so you should go for him, and he's a good bench option also. Now move on to the forward option, and fast forward you should go for obviously Erling Haaland. He's in great form. He scoring every match, and only Manchester City when playing against Liverpool he blanked, and other than he is scoring every match, so he's a very nice option and you should obviously go for him in your wildcard team. And if you look at his fixture. Leicester, Fulham and Brentford considered a lot of goals, so I think Haaland is a very good shout against those teams. Now move on to the second forward, and it's Firmino. He is in great form as Jota is now injured before World Cup. So I think Firmino is a nice option to go for. He has a very nice run of fixture, also Nottingham Forest, Leeds and Southampton, and he is in great form, so you should obviously go for a player who is in great form and also very good fixture, and Liverpool are playing very well now. Now move on to the third forward option, and it's Gabriel Jesus, and I already did that Arsenal has a very good run of fixture, and as their fixture run is very good, so I think Gabriel Jesus will keep some point, and you should obviously go for Arsenal triple up and Manchester City triple up. That's a nice thing to go for, and that's a differential one, and you can get a lot of point by doing this. Now move on to the bench option, and in goalkeeping bench option it's Ward. He's 4.1 million and he will obviously play in every match, so it's a nice backup option. Now move on to the first outfield player in bench, and it's Almiron. I think in game week 13 it needed to bench Almiron because you can play Andreas, but after that Tottenham match he has a very good run of fixture, Aston Villa, Southampton, Chelsea, so I think it's a nice way to go for Almiron, and he is very cheap, 5.3, and if you can even transform him into Liverpool midfielder like Cavaleiro, who is 5.4 million. As Jota is injured, I think he will also get some minute, so you can obviously transfer him out for Cavaleiro, and that's a very nice option. Now move on to the second bench option, and it's Webster, and I think it's a better way to go for Webster because you can rotate with Anderson and Webster. In game week 15 he has very nice run of fixture, but Anderson has some tricky fixture, so obviously Webster is a good option, and he is 4.5 million. Other Brighton defender Dunk 4.7 million, and Veltman also 4.6 million, but Webster is cheaper than them, and he's a very good aerial threat also, so you can go for him. Now move on to the third bench option, and it's a cheaper one. It's a 4.1 million defender and Nico Williams, and I think you should obviously go for him because he's playing in right wing back position for Bournemouth, and he's cheaper option, and you should obviously go for him. Now move on to the game week 13 captaincy option, and it's obviously Erling Haaland. I think Salah is a good shot, but I am preferring Haaland because if Haaland playing very well, then he will lose a lot of length, and Salah also very good captaincy shout for game week 13, but I think Haaland is better, and these teams cost 100.1 million, and that's a nice one to be have because I know you have this kind of team budget, so you can obviously go for this team, and that's a dream team for a lot of FPL manager. I think that's a very nice team. So finishing, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel and don't forget to press the bell icon, and if you also enjoy this video, please like this video, and it helps a lot. And that's all for today. Good luck for your team.